Welcome back. In this video, we're going to look into JDoodle in order to understand what we're going to use in the next videos. So in the next few videos, I think until the day after tomorrow, so until day 3, we are going to use the Java compiler directly in your web browser. The cool thing is you don't have to install any software in order to get started. And that's what I wanted to happen, because sometimes getting started and then running into any kind of installation problems is really annoying, and I wanted to make it as easy as possible for you. So go to this website, jdoodle.com/online-java-compiler. Okay, so this is the URL that you can find up here. You can also Google for it and you will find it. And you will find this Java icon up here, and it says Online Java Compiler IDE. I'm going to go deeper into what an IDE is later on once we are installing an IDE, but just spoken out, it means Integrated Development Environment, which just means that this is a software that allows you to code and makes it easier for you to code. Okay, so once you're on this website, you will see that there is a predefined code already, as well as there is this JDroid AI, which we are not going to use because it is only with 5 credits to start with, and I want you to use this tool for free. And 5 credits is fine, but once you want to use it properly, you would have to pay, and I don't want you to have any paid software to get started with. So I'm going to close the JDroid AI, and if you want to reopen it, you can just click here. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is to zoom in because the code is way too small. And while I could just scroll in and zoom in to make the text bigger, that's a way to do it. But we could also change our settings. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, got it. I understand that this website uses cookies. And then what I want to go into are the IDE settings. Now you can only change your settings once you are signed in. So you need to sign in or create an account here and log in into JDoodle in order to change your settings. In order to run the code, however, you can see you can run it without registering. So there is an error because I accidentally entered an A, but if I have no error in my code and I run it, you can see that it does something. Okay, there's this play button, and we're going to go into what this play button does in a second. So again, if you don't want to register, it's fine. I personally like to have more capabilities, such as making some settings and saving the file and so forth. So I'm just going to log in real quick. Once I'm signed in, I can go to the settings and change the font size, because as I said, I think it's a little too small. Let's test 18. And I think 18 is significantly more readable. So now we can actually read what's going on here. And it's just the width of the text to fit still into the screen, which I like. All right, so there is some green text and there are some purple pieces of text, as well as some black and some blue and red, and all of that has a certain meaning in coding, and we're going to go over that later on. But for now, what you can read through is what you can see up here, and these are some instructions, and they are green, and green usually means that it's a comment. So here we're talking about a comment that will not have an impact on our program. Okay, it's just for us as a programmer to read it. We're going to go over comments a little more later on. But what it says is that you can execute code in 88 languages on this tool, and we are currently in the Java IDE. So we can click this orange button to execute the code, this one here, in order to check whether the code works. And I would recommend that you try that to see if you get an output here where it says sum of x plus y equals 35. And it's because 10 plus 25 is 35. So you don't need to understand the code down here. We're going to start a lot earlier or a lot simpler. Okay. As it also says, try the menu buttons on the left, save your file, share code with friends, open your saved projects and so forth, or you can even change the language. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that code up here, this comment, and I'm also going to get rid of everything up to this point here. And everything that is inside of these curly brackets is what I'm going to focus on. Okay, I'm going to go over what these keywords mean and what they do later on. But for now, I just want to focus on what we're going to put inside of these curly brackets, because that's going to be the code that we currently can impact and that we can change in order to execute something that we have control over. Okay, and what we're going to start with is going to be a very simple statement, and that is to display something on the screen that we just have seen as well with the default code that we had there. But before we go into that, let's have a quick overview of what we are going to try to build. And that will be a little presentation in the next video. So see you there.